Hello everyone and welcome to WD18, the Watford fan channel. Today I'm going to be doing a player ratings from yesterday's win against Swansea, that last minute winner from Richarlison, sparking scenes in the away end. As you can tell, I've lost my voice completely, so I do apologise. However, as you saw in the vlog, there was absolute scenes. I was screaming, I was going mental. The thing is, sometimes with those vlogs I kind of forget the camera's there, just how I would normally react. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy the vlog. And there's also a video on 90 min which has got the Swansea reaction as well, which is a really cool video. So I'll leave a link in the description to that. Anyway, let's get on to the player rating. So let's start in goal. Aurelio Gomez. Now, I think this is one of the games where he's had quite a lot to do. He did what he had to do well. I mean, there was a couple of times a little bit worried because the centre-backs were fizzing the ball at Aurelio, and I was a little bit worried. You might have seen my tweet yesterday. I was just thinking, please don't do it, because he's not the best for this team, we know that. But what he had to do yesterday, I thought he did really well. From coming through crosses, he did well. His kicking was okay. Obviously, that save straight after the Andre Gray goal from Fernandes was superb. So I think I'll give Aurelio Gomez a 7 out of 10. Then moving on to Femenir, I thought he was one of our best players yesterday. He was really, really good. He looked... I mean, I said I would start Jan because I didn't know if Femenir was back ready to play. But I thought Femenir was very, very good. And I think I've got to give him an 8 out of 10 for yesterday's performance. He was really, really good down the right-hand side, looking to bomb forward at every opportunity. Him and Carrillo were combining very well in the first half especially. But as we changed into a 5-4-1, which I'll go on, which I'll talk about later on, it was more of a defensive display, but in the first half he was willing to bomb forward and always overlap, which I thought was really good for Femenir. So an 8 out of 10 for Kiko. And then going on to the two centre-backs. So the first one, I think we'll start with Adrian Mariappa. Now AD, I thought he was very, very good, and he deserves to continue at centre-back next week against West Brom at the Hawthorns. He was really, really good, and I have to say, Mariappa, I think I was a bit harsh on him because yesterday's performance, he was superb, and Watford were under the cosh, especially in the second half, and he pulled through with Kabasele. Especially in the first half, Watford dominated comfortable, and that started from the back. But in the second half, when we came under the cosh, he kind of stepped up as one of the more experienced players in the team. Kabasele and Wage, they did okay. So I think I've got to give Mariappa, I think I'll give him a 7.5. I thought he was pretty decent, and that tackle on its own, that block inside the 6-yard box from Tammy Abraham was absolutely magnificent. Really, really, he timed it to perfection. Adrian Mariappa a 7.5 out of 10. Then going on to Kabasele, I think I'll give Kabasele a 7 out of 10. He did okay. I mean, sometimes he got caught out in possession, but with Mariappa, they combined really well, and they were kind of on they were working together, which I really liked, and the partnership looked pretty strong. So I'll give Kabasele a 7, decent performance from him. But he did make the most clearances yesterday, 15 clearances, I believe, in the whole Premier League. So that was pretty good from Kabasele. So I'll give him a 7. Going on to Holebas, I don't think he was time wasted quite a lot with it. He got on the Swansea fans' nerves. But Holebas didn't. I don't know. It wasn't his best performance. I think I'll give him a 6.5. It was okay. He didn't really he came into the game more in the second half where he was used as more of a wing back. I think he prefers it, so he's allowed to get forward. But in the first half, he didn't really actually have a lot to do, and it wasn't a stellar performance from Holebas, but it was a decent performance from him. And then going on to the two players just in front now, Capoue obviously came in for Chalobah, which I was obviously a little bit sceptical about, but Capoue did a really good job. I think Capoue sat with Doucouré because I thought Cleverley played a bit higher up the pitch, but I thought Cleverley would slot back. But in the end, it was Capoue and Doucouré who held in midfield in the first half anyway. I thought Doucouré had a solid game. I'll give him a 7. And I'll give Capoue a 7 as well. I thought they were okay. I thought Doucouré, he was decent. He was comfortable in midfield, especially in the first half. The second half, I think I would give Doucouré higher, but after his first half yellow, that kind of changed the way he kind of played the game because he was more cautious in his tackles. He wasn't, because obviously Doucouré's main asset is getting his foot in, nabbing the ball from the opposition. But because he got that yellow card quite early in the game, I think it was about half an hour in or so, it was kind of he couldn't really do any of those tackles, and if he timed it wrong, he'd be off. So that kind of changed the game, and I think Decore, give him a 7. And Capu, I'll give a 7 as well. I thought he was pretty good going forwards. Did well to slot in for Chalobah's position, who's been playing really well in the last few weeks. So Capu a 7 as well. Cleverly, he did okay. I think I'll give Cleverly 6. So, yeah, I don't think it was an amazing game for him. I didn't really see him do a lot. I mean, he pressed quite well. He's making decent runs into the box. I think I'll give Cleverly 6.5. Cleverly 6 and 6.5. He was okay, but he wasn't it wasn't incredible. So yeah, 6. I'll give him a 6.5. Why not? He was like Holobas. They didn't really put a foot wrong, but they didn't do anything spectacular. And then going on to the two wingers, and I thought, for the start on the right anyway, Andre Carrillo was probably Watford's man of the match in the first half. I thought he was very, very good going forward. He obviously set up the first goal, which was really good. And obviously it was an offside goal, and that he would have got on the score sheet. But I thought Carrillo was our best player. He was willing to get back, probably our best asset. He was providing the best chances going forwards. So I think, and then it frustrated me because Silva then at half-time went to a 5-4-1, which I didn't agree with. I think he actually got it wrong. I know Troy came out, and Troy Deeney came after the end match today saying the gaffer was bold in his decisions. I actually think he cocked it up and he got away with it, Silva. But don't take away from him, but I just think that wasn't the right move. He went defensive, he parked the bus too early, basically. Like 4-5-1 at half-time. You can't go from dominating the game and looking so comfortable and then just sitting off a team who will come at us in the second half. We've got to kind of counteract that by going back at them. And I think if we had actually kept the same team for maybe another 20 minutes or so, then I think we would have sealed off the game and it would have been even more comfortable. And also, I don't know, well, actually I'll come on to it in a minute about the substitutions, but right mid, I think I'll give Carrillo an 8. I thought he was very good in the first half, and then obviously in the second half, I think he would have got an 8.5 if he had done more in the second half, but that wasn't really his fault. And then going on to the other hand side, Richarlison, what a man. Let's analyse his game first. Overall, I don't think it was his best game, if I'm going to be honest. I don't think it was his best game. But then when he had that one chance, it was a scrappy goal in the end. It was a loose touch. Obviously, Rocky Messer lost the ball, did he? And then it was Richarlison picked up the ball and he was driving at Alfie Mawson. Awful defending from Alfie Mawson. He went with his wrong foot. And Richarlison, it was a loose touch and that drew Mawson in. It wasn't deliberate. And then he got round and then it was kind of just above the keeper, and I think the keeper expected it to go either side of him, but it went over the top of him and off the bar and in. And I think Andy Lewis on the Hornet Nest summed up brilliantly in his blog that time kind of stopped as soon as he hit that. When it hit off the bar and in, limbs were flying everywhere. But yeah, Richarlison, I thought overall it wasn't his best game, but just for the goal, I think I'll give Richarlison 7.5. The goal, and then it's sparking scenes in the way, and it's taking his shirt off and whatnot. And then going up front, Andre Gray now getting his first Watford goal. I was absolutely delighted to see Andre get his first Watford goal. And it was a great goal too. He pounced on it in just it ricocheted off the defender, and he was the first one to pounce on it. And it was great to see him follow his run and bang it into the top right hand corner. So very good play from Andre Gray. Second half he was quiet, but that was due to the formation in my opinion. I know he was playing one up top. Silva likes to only play one up top because he wants someone who's pacing, can run in the channels, and Gray, he did that. He did okay. He did pretty well up top in the first half anyway. He should have scored in the first 5 minutes, and then he also had another chance which was unlucky actually. It was quite an acute angle and he tried to kind of guide it into the left hand post, off the post and in, but unfortunately that didn't happen, so that was unlucky from Gray, and he in fact he could have had a hat-trick. But I thought it was a pretty good game from pretty good performance from Andre Gray. So I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10 for his first goal too. That was good to see Andre get his first goal. And then going on to the substitutes, obviously Andre Gray came off to Troy Deeney, and that was a big game changer. And I don't think if we hadn't brought on Troy, I don't think we would have won that football match, because in my opinion, he should have come on earlier. That's something. I'm not slating Silva. I just think maybe for him, I think he needs to make his sub sooner. I think he almost waited to the 75th minute, which, considering we were under the cosh for around 20 minutes, he wasn't changing it. He wasn't changing formation. He was waiting for something to happen to him to change, which I don't want. I'd like him to be more proactive than reactive. But Troy, I think he did really well. He had a chance just before he came on, which I thought he was going to score. It was the ball that off by the core. It was just behind him, which was unlucky. And he got the shot on target, which is unfortunate. But overall, he held up the ball well in his 15 minutes. He organised the team well, and yeah, I just thought Deeney. I thought it was a very good performance off the bench. So I'm going to give Troy a 7.5, 7. I don't know. I think it. I'll give him a 7.5 out of 10. I thought he was pretty good. And then who were the other substitutes? Obviously at half time, who was it? Capu came off. That was it. Capu came off for debutant Molawage for the Mali international, the loan from Udinese. I actually thought he was pretty solid in his first game. I'll give him 6.5. His first game, he did okay. He won things in the air. He didn't really put a massive foot wrong. And yeah, I thought it was a solid performance from him. And then was there one more sub? That was it. Andre Carrillo came off for Roberto Pereira. Now Pereira, it was a big cheer when he came on. He looked bright. Some of his corners were okay, and I thought it was kind of quite an average performance from Pereira. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. That's 3 away wins on the bounce for Watford. Really, really good start to the season. Only lost 1, getting 3 away wins. Richarlison scoring again like he did against Bournemouth away. But yeah, quality day, for a really good day. And make sure you check out my matchday vlog from yesterday's game against Swansea. Make sure you leave a like, comment down below your player ratings, anything you agree, disagree with. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time.